Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Gnage with Gnage Virtual Science, and we have my assistant, and you are Colin. And today we're gonna do the what?
Rock Cycle Challenge.
Well, it's a Rock Cycle Lab. It might be a challenge to do at home.
Well.
Okay, Colin, so what do we need? What are our materials?
So we have crayons, M&Ms, jelly beans.
Hold on. So if you have, you can use crayons, or if you have M&Ms, or what else can they use?
Okay, can I do the jelly?
Yeah, what can they use?
We have jelly bombs.
Jelly beans. Okay, what else are they gonna need? What else are they gonna need? What is this?
Scrap paper.
Scrap paper. Okay, what else are they gonna need?
Do
you remember what this is?
No.
No. Aluminum foil?
Yes. And you also need
parchment paper or parchment paper.
Or popsicle stick or
no, hold on. You gotta do it slowly.
Or you need a popsicle stick or a coin or a glass of hot water.
Okay, so you need either a popsicle stick, a coin, or a dull butter knife. You need some hot water.
Or a big book.
A big book. And
tongs.
And tongs, not or tongs, and tongs. And something to write down your observations on, your lab notes, okay? So those are the materials that we're going to use. Okay, it's Colin and Mrs. Gnage, we're back. And the purpose of today's lab is we are gonna model the rock cycle, and we're gonna use different materials. So if you're using crayons like we are, we're gonna model the rock cycle using crayons. So these are gonna simulate our rocks. If you're using M&Ms, or if you're using jelly beans, or you can use Starbursts, or even chocolate chips, those are gonna mimic rocks. And the first thing you're gonna do right now is record your background. So what is it you know about the rock cycle? So we're gonna pause, and you're gonna record what you know about the rock cycle. All right, so the next part of the lab talks about your hypothesis. What do you think is gonna happen to your material, like a crayon? What's gonna happen to the crayon if we model it, it going through the rock cycle? So make a hypothesis. What is gonna happen to this crayon if we're gonna model the rock cycle?
Okay, so it'll turn into a rock, like a big crayon rock?
Maybe. We'll see. That's Colin's hypothesis.
So the wrapper
That's his educated guess.
So the wrapper will get bigger, and then it'll turn into a big ring.
Maybe. We'll see. All right, record your hypothesis. Okay, guys, we're ready for the lab. So you've done your background information, you have all your materials ready, we know the purpose, and you've recorded your hypothesis. So step one. Step one is to peel the paper from the crayons. So we are gonna do that. It's not very
hard because my feet hurt. It's really hard.
It's really hard because your feet hurt? Are you using your feet?
And also part of my fingers.
Part of your fingers? Okay, well, we're gonna peel. We'll get back to you.
So now that we've peeled off these.
Yep, so now we have our peeled crayons. So these represent a rock that we're gonna start with. So if you look, I want you to observe. There you go. Okay, so what kind of rock do you think we're starting with? Now look really closely.
Look at really close at the
Yeah, all right, let's back it up a bit. Okay, so I want you to think right now, record what type of rock do you think we're starting with? Make some observations. It is uniform in color, right? All one color. It is glassy and smooth. I do not see any individual grains. So make a guess. What kind of rock do you think we're starting off with? Hint. Hint. I showed it to you during the rock cycle video.
This also represents a rock in Minecraft.
That you can find in Minecraft. That was Colin's hint.
Well,
okay.
Well, Minecraft has stuff.
Okay, so now we're moving on to step two. Step two is we are going to take one of our tools. We're going to use the popsicle stick,
and scrape these crayons.
The coin, or the dull butter knife. And what are we going to do?
Scrape the crayons.
We're going to scrape and the crayons. We're going to try to
cut them.
we're gonna try to break it into really, really small grains, into fragments.
Okay.
And so
I need
here you go,
them.
Colin.
No, I'm gonna do that. Not,
Okay. So here we, whoop.
oh, how do I do this?
Well, we're not cutting, we're scraping. Scrape.
Okay, I'm trying to scrape, but it kind of looks like a kind of cut it gummy.
Here, let me show you.
I'm scraping.
Watch. This is how you scrape, guys. Watch. Scrape. See all those pieces that come off? Scrape.
That's how you
Scrape. So you can use the knife to scrape. You can use the popsicle stick to scrape, or you could use the coin. Ooh, the coin works good.
I'm gonna use that coin.
Okay, so scrape away.
Whoa.
Scrape, scrape, scrape.
Nice.
And you are collecting all of those pieces on your scrap paper. So scrape away and we will get back to you when we're done scraping ours. Okay, so Colin and I are done scraping our crayons.
Yep, and I got one.
Yep, we got little pieces. And so step 2, our observations. What process in the rock cycle did scraping our rocks represent? So go ahead and record that. So again, what process in the rock cycle did scraping our crayons represent? So now we have all these different smaller pieces, right, Colin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're back with step 3. So we're gonna take all of these shavings and we're now going to use the parchment paper, or you might be using aluminum foil. And so we're going to carefully get our scrapings onto the parchment paper.
Oh no, what?
And we're gonna fold it up nicely in a neat little package. And so here I am.
Goodness, yeah.
I'll show you my package after I fold it, but hopefully you know how to fold a package. So we're folding, all my crayon scrapings are in this little package.
Well, not all of them, look.
Well, yeah, we kind of made a mess, Colin, so there's some on the
It's
counter.
not a mess. It's a tiny little puka.
Okay, all right, so step 3, we need our large book for this step. Okay,
so now we got our large book.
We have our large book. We have our folded crayon scrapings in the parchment paper.
And the big book was large as a baby. And it was heavy as a baby.
Good observation, Colin. All right, so we're gonna put our book on top of our package and we are going to press down. Okay, so can you press down?
Yeah, I'm gonna try with my foot.
No, we're not standing on the counter. Nice try. Press. Lab safety, people. Don't stand on the counter. All right, press, 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 press.
Are we done
So we're gonna press for a good minute and then we'll see the next part. All right, keep applying pressure. Steady pressure, Colin. Steady pressure. Steady pressure. Okay, so time for our observations. We have pressed down on our little package and we're gonna carefully unfold it and see what happened. What do you think happened? You don't know?
Let's see.
Okay, so if you can see our shavings.
It made a rock.
It did, it made a rock. Now careful.
Can I pick
Now, if you go to pick it up, it's fragile, okay? It might fall apart, but you can see
how it
that
goes?
some of the pieces, look, if I just move it, some of those pieces are really staying together, right? So we compacted, there you go, Colin. Yep, so here's a good piece, look. We compacted all of those little pieces, those sediments, those grains, we compacted them together. So what type of rock, this is your observation for step 3, what type of rock do you think we are modeling here? And explain why. What kind of rock do you think this models?
It's a crayon rock.
It's a crayon rock?
Yeah. And I'm going to read about this.
All right, so record your observations and we'll go on to step 4.
This is a really scary challenge.
Okay, so we're now moving on to step 4. So we're going to take our shavings here.
In the
And
boiling water.
Not yet. So we're gonna repackage it up. So we're gonna fold it, and we're gonna try to get them all in one spot, and we're gonna repackage it up. Assistant, are you ready? All right, so we're gonna take this package, and we're going to have parent supervision. You need hot water. I used boiling water from the kettle on the stove. You can heat up water in the microwave. So, Colin, remember that is hot water, so practice lab safety. You're gonna take this, hold the package, hold it tight. You're gonna lower it in the hot water. Oh, no, you gotta hang on to it, don't lose it. So you're gonna lower it in the hot water. So hang on to it and hold it in the hot water. Okay, I'll help. Okay, I'll help with this job. So we're gonna lower it in the hot water, and we're gonna keep it there for about 10 or 20 seconds. So, you ready? Let go of the tongs, I'll help. Ready? Okay, so.
No, we need to do it the other way.
We need to do it the other way.
Push it over a little.
Okay, so it's in there. You ready? Lower it in for 10 or 20 seconds. And after that, I'll say what we're gonna do. Okay, so my package has been in the hot water for about 20 seconds. I'm gonna quickly dry it off. And Colin, come on. We are gonna go to the floor for this part. We are going to put the book on top of the package, Colin. Put the book on top of the package and step on the book. Step, 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 stomp, stomp, stomp.
I'm running a place.
All right. And we're gonna do this for about a minute. Okay, so Colin is done standing on the book and stomping for about a minute. I forgot to mention that you might want to do that step outside because it can get a little messy depending on how hard you stomp. Did you stomp hard?
And I also jumped.
And he also jumped. So you might want to do that step outside or put some paper towel down or something. So we need to let this cool first. So we need to let it cool for about 5 minutes. Well, it's not cold yet. So we're going to let it cool for about 5 minutes, and then we'll do our observations. Okay, so now we have our package that is cooled, and we're going to open it up. Colin, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So got to be careful. It might be a little wet depending on what you used. Opening it up. What are we going to reveal?
I cannot wait to see what it is.
I can't wait either. I'm trying to open it up, trying to find where the spot is to open it
I'm
up.
going
There it
tonight.
is. Whoa. So let's show now what happened.
It made crayon.
Okay, hold on. We got to show this piece.
It made crayon rock.
Made a crayon rock. Now, one of the cool things about this is we have a new color. We started out with a blue, pink, and yellow crayon, but look.
It made a new color.
What color did we get, Colin?
We made lasagna.
No, what color, silly goose? What colors do you see?
It made a lasagna color.
A lasagna color? What's a lasagna color?
So it's just like the food lasagna, but it's just a different.
So it's all smushed together?
Made a lasagna.
Yeah, I see the color green. Look at our package. So we now have a new color. We now have swirls of color.
To the channel.
I can no longer see individual pieces of the crayon. And so now make your observations. What type of rock do you think step 4 represented? Okay, so that was our lab, and now you need to go into the lab conclusion form and complete the questions and submit them. Thanks for doing our lab. Bye.
Bye.